Welcome to AmityCast. My name is Ellis.
I'm Matthew.
And, sorry, we missed you last week. We took a little break. Didn't really feel like a break to me.
Someone took a big bite out of our schedule.
Didn't really feel like a break to me, but spoilers today for F9 The Fast Saga.
Such a dumb name.
Loki episode 4.
Such a dumb name. I'm just kidding.
We'll talk about a couple other things as well, but yeah, just a spoiler warning for that. So F9, what'd you think?
I don't know, would you prefer Loki episode 4 or a 2.5 hour film called F9?
So the fact that it was 2.5 hours is just...
I believe it was longer than like The Last Jedi.
So F9 happened. It's a 2.5 hour film. It's like a quarter of just...
It's a half hour shorter than Endgame. It's as long as Infinity War.
It is unnecessarily long. There's so many scenes that are just so stupid. In fact, everything's stupid. Actually, this whole movie kind of sucks overall.
What's your feelings on the franchise before this?
So, the original's like...
Did I ask?
Yes.
I did actually.
The original's like okay. It's fine. It didn't really need a franchise.
It's just a blatant rip-off of Point Break.
Yeah.
Another.
The sequel is terrible. Tokyo Drift is pretty terrible. 4 is pretty bad. 5, 6, and 7 are fun action movies. They're enjoyable. 7 does a good job, like, emotionally.
And it was a really good ending, like, honestly.
Yeah, 7 would have been a good ending. I wish just 5, 6, and 7 were a thing. Yeah. And then there's 8, which was awful. Hobbs and Shaw was fun. It's not a good movie, but it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. And then, yeah. Now we get F9, which
I'm
is...
excited for the musical.
I guess Vin Diesel is dying to do a musical, and I quote.
I'm also dying for his career to end. Do you not like Vin Diesel? Like, as a person, do you like Vin Diesel?
Family.
I hope you know, like, Vin Diesel, like, when Fate the Furious came out, he said, "This is by Paul." And it's like, he's dead.
Yeah, that's the
I'm pretty sure he just won another $1 billion.
Music by him is that cool.
Oh my god. I don't think I caught it.
Delete that.
It's all good. It's on you.
Well, I mean...
I'm not
No, because
re-recording.
actually I respect Paul Walker's career.
We all do.
Yeah, Paul Walker, I mean, yeah. And
Ever since he's been gone, like, you can tell, like, a lot's missing from these movies because he's not in it.
Right, it's just... It's
Not
clearly...
even to mention, like, the last
mood
movie,
shift.
not only is Paul Walker not in it, but they decided to make Vin Diesel the villain, so you literally just have all these secondary characters you don't care about.
Yeah, and it just failed so hard. I think the F9 is like a slight improvement. I think you think it's a slight downgrade.
It's like the same, and it's like exactly what I didn't want.
Yeah, I wanted F9 to be an improvement, obviously, because Fate of the
Especially
Furious
since
was
they brought
terrible.
back the director of 5 and 6.
Right, yeah. Which just got me excited because I loved 5 and 6 and 7 as like horror, not horror.
The
Oh,
red
God.
horror movies.
I'm so used to saying horror film. Action films, they're a lot of action, a lot of fun. You can at least be intrigued the entire time. With F9, it's just ridiculous. And like, they're like, oh, where are the kids? Oh, they're with Brian. Like, just no, he's dead. He's dead.
Yeah, they very blatantly like try to just kind of keep him out. It's like it's almost like you shouldn't just keep going.
Right, and like at the end when they're like, oh, dude, there's an empty seat, and they're like, oh, dude, here he is, and like Brian's car, and they like shows up.
Which is like, I guess it's fine. Like, it's just like, what? They
It's-
brought back his wife. Like, they brought back his wife's character.
It's so pointless.
Like, I guess it's like cool to like see these characters again, but like it's just like I don't really care anymore. I want this to end, and then like they just bring back. Oh yeah, Vin Diesel had a son. I mean, a brother. The whole time.
Yeah, just like, oh, you have a brother, and like, why have none of us like heard of this? Like 9 films and 10 if you count Hobbs and Shaw. It's like, what?
Yeah, and they also just kind of like don't bring up Hobbs and Shaw the entire movie,
Right.
which is a little weird.
It's very weird.
And we know it's because Vin Diesel and like Rock are like 2 buff men. Like, oh my god, we have problems.
Which is very stupid.
Also, Han's back.
Yeah, Han. So like in the film,
Like,
they,
I really like Han, but like he clearly died.
so in the film they just build up this whole like Han is back thing, and it's like a huge reveal. He's like in the shadows. It's like, oh my gosh, is Han alive? And it's like literally in the trailer and like some of the posters, Han was there. It's like
He's on the poster.
It's like what?
Yeah, literally in the trailer it says "Justice for Han,"
And
and
he
it shows.
and he came back just to be another side character. He didn't even do anything. It was so dumb.
I mean, I guess if like in 10 or 11 he does something like really cool, but they can't kill him off again because then it'll just be like dumb.
Right, if they like try to kill him again, it's like they just completely retcon that death, like or whatever. Which is
It was really dumb because
This
like they
franchise
literally
is such
say
a
like
mess.
they literally said like we saw your body, we saw it explode. Like how do they fake that? And he's like, oh yeah, this guy from like 2 other movies was like really good at faking that.
Yeah, this guy's really good at faking things. It's like this franchise is such a mess.
And then they bring back the villain from the last movie, only for it to not be there at all.
It's so
It's on the
stupid.
poster. And then Tommy's over here.
I haven't seen the movie, but it sounds bad.
There's this one scene where they go to space,
They go to space, so they keep talking about it,
and they have the 2 black guys going to space. They have Tyrese and fucking Ludacris going to space. That's it. Not the whole crew.
right? And
Just them.
and they're just talking about like, oh, it's just like it's so like ridiculous, like we're invincible, like this couldn't work, like we have to be invincible.
Yeah, there's
like,
a scene of Tyrese getting shot at by 10 dudes, and it literally shows bullet marks on his body, but he's not hurt at all.
yeah.
And he says, "I think I'm invincible, guys."
And then afterwards, he's like, guys, after everything we've been through, I don't have a single scar. Like, are we invincible? And then they're like, oh my gosh, we believe you. And then they were like, you're such an idiot. And it's like, what? No, these movies make no sense. And then they're like, oh, you know a car that blew up earlier in the movie? Let's strap a rocket engine to it and go to space.
1/5 of the movie is flashbacks with different actors playing Vin Diesel and John Cena, but younger.
And like, I understand, like,
About their dad.
I guess the John Cena one kind of looks like John Cena, like a younger version of him.
The Vin Diesel one does not.
The Vin Diesel one doesn't. It doesn't really work as Dom at all.
And it was nice to see
just,
street racing again.
and those scenes had really bad acting. Like, what? It was cool to see street racing. Yeah, that was cool. Kind of like you know what the movies were supposed to be about.
But they just add a bunch of random retcons. It's like, oh, Vin Diesel's sister has been in contact with John Cena, like, and just never brought it up.
Yeah, just like, oh, he couldn't bring it up because Dom couldn't know. And it's, oh, he didn't deserve the Toretto name. It's like, what is the Toretto?
He doesn't even know, like, if he actually did anything to hurt his dad. He just assumes.
Yeah.
He doesn't talk to him once. It's almost like you should talk to people and not just, like, leave the door open, but not talk to them at all.
Also, almost nothing from a narrative perspective works in this film. Like, even in the beginning, when they, like, go to, like, that like, island, wherever they are, and they're like,
They
oh,
just abandon their kid, by the way. They just literally abandon.
well, they're like, Dom, you gotta come do this. And then Dom's just like, no. And they're like, why aren't you gonna go? He's like, people change. And he walks away. And, like, after, like, 5 minutes, like, all right, fine, I'll go. It's like, they didn't get a payoff there. It's like they didn't earn, like, some kind of, like, emotional turnaround for the character. He's just like, no, I'm not gonna go. He's like, all right, I'll go.
They had a reason, because it's like, oh, it's like the woman that, like, killed your child's, mother. And it's just like, whatever.
He's like, whatever. Which, like, also doesn't... It's also just so
You had
weird.
a good reason for him to leave at that point.
He was just like, people change. Like, what? That line didn't make any sense. I was like, what?
Yeah.
And also, his acting. Also, he can't sing. Why does he want to do a musical?
There's still 2 more of these.
I want to hear Vin Diesel singing. Obviously, I'll see 10 and 11. Obviously. Because I don't know why. These movies are bad.
It's just, it makes no sense. And it's like, I get that's the point. I guess, like, this point, they don't really care as much anymore, and they're just delivering action. And it's like, that's fine if you want to make an action movie. But these need to make some sense, and you can't just use, these dumb jokes and this dumb meta commentary that doesn't work and just say this is an excuse for lazy writing.
Yeah, it's all frustrating because...
The poster's better than the movie.
Yeah, I'm looking at this poster right now, and it's honestly better than the film itself. It's more exciting.
And, like, I know there's people like Joey that be like, this is really good, honestly.
Yeah,
there's people that generally love this movie. This film has like a 70% Rotten Tomatoes. It has like a 70%.
It has a 60%, which is still just atrociously high because
this should be like
it's
below
terrible.
40.
The acting is so bad. They get paid to act in this, and like the story is so messy and terrible, and like it doesn't make any sense.
9-to-5 job.
There's no payoffs. There's no earned plot points that make sense or work in any way. It's just kind of fun at some points because they keep making fun of themselves. But it's like you can't just go to space and be like, oh, we're going to space. It's funny. It's like no, it's still stupid. It's still fucking stupid.
They also bring back the Tokyo Drift people, and all of a sudden they're like rocket engineers.
Why?
Wow.
What?
And it's just like, I don't know. It's just like, I don't get it. It's just like,
so like when this franchise started back in 2001, I bet they planned on 11 films.
The first one was about stopping people from stealing DVDs. This one's about fucking going to space and destroying a satellite. They also never explain what the big weapon does. They have these dumb magnets throughout the movie, which I guess like it has some cool moments. But it's like, how'd you even think of this? What's the next movie gonna be about?
Yeah, it's just I have no idea.
Is fucking Vin Diesel ever gonna wear a shirt with sleeves?
I don't know why. Like people like idolize.
Also,
Vin
let's not
Diesel.
mention that John Cena and Vin Diesel look nothing alike.
They really don't. They don't really work as brothers.
He has hair. Also, they just have random characters. Like they have that one girl from Seven that's still here that does nothing.
Yeah.
They have that one good scene where she doesn't know how to drive, which was like pretty funny.
Right.
But that was it, and it was a 2.5-hour film also.
Yeah, it's 2.5 hours. It's unnecessarily long. I think it's because of like all like the backstory, which is like
It should have just been focused on about like Han or like something else. It's just like John Cena
the focus is just completely
also,
just
they bring in
not
a
proper at
random,
all.
like daughter figure for Han that does nothing. I think has like she speaks 3 lines, and you're supposed to like care when she gets kidnapped. I don't care.
Yeah, and she's supposed to be like the key to something. I honestly can't follow what's going on because it doesn't make sense.
And I watched a review, and it's literally like they do this in the 7th one. They have that like whole like God's Eye thing that was like unlocked by a person, and like they do it again in this one.
I just
2 movies later.
this used to be about street racing.
7 was like the like absolute extent I could take the ridiculousness, like them like flying cars through buildings is fine. I can accept that over this.
This is just it's just so stupid.
How is Michelle Rodriguez still in this? She cannot act for the life of her.
She really can't. It's kind of embarrassing.
And the first one, she literally just walked around with her mouth open.
almost no one can act really. No,
That's why Paul Walker was good in this, because he could.
Yeah, Paul Walker was actually a pretty good
The guy that
actor.
plays Han can act, kind of.
Yeah, he's fine. I
And
guess.
I guess Ludacris is good for being a rapper, as like an actor, and he's like good at comedy. Like him and Tyrese are good together.
Yeah,
I
they're
will admit that.
fun together. They have good chemistry,
They're
but
just terrible characters.
but Tyrese is terrible.
He got paid to be like in 8 of these, and he was in like 5 Transformers movies.
Oh my god, dude.
And then John Cena, like he's a fine actor, I guess. I guess he's on the same level as The Rock probably, but like he has nothing to do. He all of a sudden becomes a good day at the end, and they just kind of like say bye bye at the end, and it's just like oh.
It's just like family bye bye.
And like the villain from the 8th one just like comes back in the very end and then leaves again, and it's just like, what is her haircut?
Overall, F9 is just it's ridiculous.
This is the biggest box office opening since Star Wars Episode 9.
Yeah, which is extremely upsetting. I don't understand the actual draw of this franchise. I know it's fun action, but like
I feel like this one's definitely gonna be like, this is like the downhill. Like these next 2 are gonna be like,
right.
I don't know how
These next 2 need like a huge dramatic shift, which I don't think they can really
I feel like
accomplish.
Vin Diesel said he's had the conclusion planned out for like years, and it's like, are you like the director?
What's why is Vin Diesel? It's always like, oh, he's like the one. It's like, no, it's stupid.
The only reason he came back to the franchise is to get Riddick, like the rise to Riddick.
Yeah.
He's been like in 6 of them since. No Riddick movies.
No.
6 of these.
And I was just looking at like the career and like life of Vin Diesel, just like what.
I don't really like him as a person. Personally, I'm not gonna like get too far into it, but like how he's handled like ever since Paul Walker's passing and like everything with The Rock was so dumb.
Yeah.
Like the reason he got mad at The Rock was because he was trying to get him to do better acting in Fate of the Furious, and it's like, Vin Diesel, have you seen? Has your tempo gone up at all?
Honestly, F9 is just a kind of a confusing and overall just terrible mess. I don't
know if I'll ever watch it again, and if I do, it's gonna be like I'll have to watch it in like sittings because I can't watch it all at once.
Yeah.
I can't.
Because like it's overly long. It doesn't have the right focus. It doesn't have the right. It has terrible acting. The entire story is just muddled and just doesn't actually apply. All the plot points are stupid, and when they try to do, I mean, it's fine action wise, and I guess some meta commentary, but like other than that, there's almost nothing it does right. It's like a 2 or 3 out of 10.
I'm trying to think of some pros because I remember there were some parts of it that like some of the humor kind of worked.
Yeah.
I guess some of the meta stuff was kind of fine. Like overall, it was terrible. I hated all of it. I guess I didn't hate it, but like I was just like I didn't enjoy it. It felt so long.
I mean, within the franchise, I'd say it's still better than Too Fast, Too Furious.
It's definitely at the bottom.
But it's definitely like, I'd say it's below Tokyo Drift. I'd rather watch Tokyo Drift, and it's about the same with Fate of the Furious.
Yeah.
Like down in like those like bottom 3.
I really hope these next 2.
Like Too Fast, Too Furious, F9, and Fate of the Furious.
Hobbs and Shaw is better than this.
Yeah, Hobbs and Shaw is like not that good, is not really a good movie like at all. The acting is pretty bad and like the story is weird.
It like knows it.
But like
yeah.
But like the whole point of the movie is that like it actually is humorous. Like Jason Statham and The Rock are fun together, and you have fun the whole time.
Idris Elba is also like really good as the villain now.
That's true. Idris Elba, like it's kind of weird that he did that movie, but like he actually did a good job, and like he gave a pretty compelling.
And they got Ryan Reynolds in Fast and Furious.
Right, Ryan Reynolds added just more humor to it. It's just a comedy action flick, which like it does fine.
I think the only reason he was really in it because I think the director Deadpool 2 directed Hobbs and Shaw, so he's just like, hey, you want to be in this? And he's like, fine. After Free Guy, which still doesn't come out.
Yeah, Free Guy still hasn't been released.
It's been finished for like 2 years.
There's so many films that have been finished for so long, and it's like, what? But yeah, F9 is like a 3 out of 10 for me.
3 out of 10 is like the highest I can give it, and like
Yeah.
feel okay with myself in that.
It's definitely 3 out of 10 is like the max. 2 out of 10. I wouldn't go below that. It's not like a 1 out of 10 because there are plenty.
Like the action's like well done. Like the action's like entertaining, I guess, but it's like it's overload.
I mean,
it's overload.
There was some entertainment value into it. That's why I give it a 3 out of 10. But it's
Not to
just
mention the space stuff. It's like if you're gonna do that, that's fine, I guess. But like make it look really cool and like really well done. You can clearly see the green screen.
right. It's just like
It's
green.
terrible looking.
It's
They
like-
literally just hit a satellite and go back. They go all the way into space, hit a satellite and go back.
Right, and then they're like, oh, but we have to destroy the satellite with sacrifice ourselves, and there's no emotional payoff for that because
They
they're just
both
in
live-
space and they're fine.
He's like, oh man, I'm hungry.
Yeah,
I don't know if
F9's
people
rough.
can just watch this and be like, oh yeah, this should still be going.
This is just so rough. I really think it should have ended at 7. 7 would have been a great ending, and it would have been.
Well, yeah, it made the most sense because the ending of that like was very powerful, and like even though like I guess there was technically like plot lines hanging with like the family. It's just like I don't really want to see it if Paul Walker's not gonna be involved anymore because he literally can't be involved anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if they really wanted to, they could have his twin brother there, but like that'd be terrible, and I wouldn't want that.
Yeah. It's just. It's just.
I don't even know if his twin brother's an actor.
It really should.
He is.
It really should have just ended at 7. I don't really. There's no real reason for 8 or 9. It's just.
Money.
I think they're both pretty terrible. I mean, yeah, they're making good money, so they'll do 10 and 11, maybe some few spin-offs. Who knows?
I
But
know Hobbs and Shaw 2 is like definitely happening.
yeah, which is exciting because if
Paris is like, I want to sell a movie, and it's like, no.
if it's like the first Hobbs and Shaw, then like I'll be fine with it.
Yeah. They definitely had set up in that one, and I guess there was a post-credit scene as well, which had Shaw in it,
Yeah.
and it was like Han like seeing him, and that was it.
Right. I don't know.
Which is like a lead up for the next one, I guess.
I mean, we'll just have to wait and see, I guess. I mean, do you have any other thoughts on F9? Because
I just hope it improves. This one wasn't like the worst like thing ever, but like it wasn't good,
yeah.
and it wasn't worth the $40 I spent.
I mean, we talked about it for about a 7th of the runtime.
There's like so many flashbacks. There's so much like shit, and like at the end, he's just like Vin Diesel's walking around with his kid, like he's totally just hasn't neglected them for 3 hours of a movie. He's like, this is where my dad died. Isn't this cool?
So stupid.
Yeah.
People change. What? Oh, man.
That was a line. That was written in the script. He practiced that.
That was written into the script.
You know what he said in like one interview? He was like, to get prepared to like act in Fast and Furious, he goes to his Dom shrine.
I don't like Vin Diesel at all.
I mean,
I'm starting to hate him more and more. Actually.
he's okay as Groot because he has one line.
Yeah, with Groot, he literally just says, I am Groot. He probably just records it like a few times in a few different ways, and they're like, alright, whatever.
Well, do you want to go on to like something good?
Yeah, let's talk about something good like Loki. Because Loki is fantastic.
No, you're fantastic. Was it? Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, we weren't here last week to talk about episode 3, which was pretty much widely agreed upon to be like the worst one so far. I mean,
It wasn't bad or anything.
it wasn't bad, but compared to the rest, it was just like there was a lot of build up.
If there's an example of filler, that's
Yeah.
the most it was.
It was, which like it's weird with like a 6-episode series for the first season to have filler episode, but like, I mean, it builds up that relationship between the
It
two
had
variants.
good stuff.
Yeah, it had good parts in it. Like I like the dialogue heavy scenes, but it's just like,
Another.
yeah, the Thor reference was cool. I mean, seeing like the way that Loki was acting, and then Sylvie, how like she was with like acting and corresponded to him. I mean, it was a lot of fun, I guess. I mean, it was shorter than the other ones, which is like what.
Yeah. I really like Loki and well, her name's now Sylvie. They have really good interactions.
Yeah.
It's kind of leading in the weird directions. I don't know how I feel about it. We'll
Right.
see.
I mean, yeah. Episode 4, I think, was a big step up. Owen Wilson is back, because like episode 3 didn't have
Well,
Owen
yeah,
Wilson.
the biggest plot twist was like, oh, the TVA, like everybody working there's actually variants.
Right, and like how they actually don't know that, and then like they
And then the
discover that.
timekeepers aren't even like real there.
Right, so like where's that gonna go? Like that it was a pretty big cliffhanger. So
And like they definitely weren't lying when they said like these last like 2 to 3 episodes are just kind of like take it completely different,
right, it's going way off the rails, especially like
which is what I want.
like the post credit scene at the end of 4, like Loki like showed up and there's like 4 other versions of him, like a kid, a crocodile, a couple other guys.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I'm guessing what he means is like when they like prune people, they actually takes them somewhere.
Right.
I thought it just like killed them.
Right. So we're just gonna have to see like what they do with.
I'm
like,
assuming the whole next episode's gonna be him in that kind of world.
Right.
And then
like
Sylvie's in the other place.
Right. Like Sylvie's gonna be messing with the one lady. I can't remember her name.
Yeah, but in the comics,
to try
that's
to figure stuff out.
the Kang the Conqueror's love interest.
Right. Yeah.
So.
I don't know her name though.
Yeah.
And then so she's obviously gonna be working through that to like try to figure out what to do about like Loki and stuff, and then maybe we'll see like what happens.
And then we got
who knows?
that cameo from the actress from the Thor movies, Sif.
Oh yeah.
Which was cool because she's actually gonna be in Thor 4.
Really?
Yeah, she's gonna be back in that.
That is pretty cool to see her like that return and like the world building there. Overall I think episode 4 might be my favorite one so far. Maybe.
It's either that one or like the first one. Just the first one had some really good scenes. So.
Yeah, the first episode was fantastic, and 4 might like top it by a little bit. I like the emotional like character building between Loki, especially between Loki and Mobius, and
There's
also
so many good
Loki
meta things where it's just like there's that scene where like he's literally just like attacking Loki for like literally falling in love with himself,
right?
And how much of like an egotistical narcissist he is, and it's just like it's really great. And then, like, once he comes back around, he literally just like opens up to him and really just like lets his heart out. Right. And he's like, you can even be somebody good. And then he just dies, which was really like sad.
Right.
Which I'm assuming he'll be back.
Right. Yeah, but like it's a
They're
true
not going to bring
emotion.
Owen Wilson in and just keep him for one season. So
yeah, I mean it's a true emotional connection that you see there, and they've done a great job building that through the episodes. Plus their chemistry it looks even better every time that they have a scene together. So.
Yeah, and they've also improved characters. Like there's that one like security lady that like I don't remember her name. It was the bigger
B-15.
black actress. Yeah.
Yeah, B-15.
Yeah. And she kind of came around. It was actually like a way better character than she was.
Right. She's also grown as a character, which is like I think the best thing about episode 4 is that we're seeing all of the growth and we're seeing a lot of the payoff from like what's been set up so far.
Casey though?
I don't know. Casey's been gone since like the second episode when he briefly appeared.
Yeah, I remember one detail I didn't notice is that you remember when they showed the Infinity Stones?
Yeah.
And like desk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they destroyed that desk in that scene.
Oh.
So like I'm assuming. I don't know if that's like all the Infinity Stones there or not, but those might just be gone now. So like I don't know what's going on.
I don't know if that's gonna be like a plot point later on, or if that was just like a one-off thing to have like be a part of Loki's realization or whatever. But
yeah,
I mean, yeah, episode 4 I think was fantastic.
And there was that big thing that was like very big on social media about Loki being bi.
Oh yeah,
which is just like
whatever.
Like, it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean it's just
as long as it's a focus, it's not a big deal. He's already loving himself.
Right. I mean,
and then Loki officially dies for the 4th time.
Right, Loki's now died.
There's also that really good line where he's like, "I've died before," it's whatever.
Yeah, he's like, I've died so many times I can't. I've like lost track, which is like a pretty funny like meta joke.
Because like they just never can get rid of Tom Hiddleston.
Right.
I don't even think at this point he's just fine with staying.
Right. Which like, and then it was definitely a nice cliffhanger at the end. I'm really excited to see where like episodes 5 and 6 go because. I mean, I wish there would be more, but, like, for now, this is what we get, and, like, it's been good so far.
And it's going to lead into a lot of movies coming out.
Right, this is going to be really big for, like, the overall MCU, for sure.
I feel like it's pretty much confirmed now, because recently there was this, like, fan that ran into Tobey Maguire in, like, public, which is, like, crazy.
Yeah.
But he ended up asking him if he was going to be in the next Spider-Man in, like, No Way Home, and all he said was he smiled at him, and he said, "I can't talk about it." Which is like literally just confirming it.
Basically confirmation, yeah. Which was funny because they were talking about Tobey Maguire. He was going to be in a film called Babylon, or a show, I can't remember.
Yeah.
But it's his first like official acting role since 2014.
Yeah.
So like first confirmed.
I think they're just hiding it.
Yeah. Which I don't know. I'm excited for the rest of the MCU, and Loki's made me even more excited. I think like
it's been really good setup, but it's also been like something really good on its own, which is what I wanted.
Right, I think that's been exceptional so far because of that. Because it's been an incredible narrative on its own.
Definitely the best out of these like Disney Plus shows so far.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been an incredible story on its own, and also it's been incredible setup, and it's been foundational for the rest of like Phase 4. So because of that, I think it's been phenomenal in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see where it goes, and like I'm really gonna like attach these characters.
Right.
And I kind of want to see what happens.
Yeah, especially Mobius. I honestly love Owen Wilson's performance. So
yeah, I would definitely watch like a show just about him.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I would love that actually, but also just the Loki variants.
Yeah, it's really good emotional moments, like when he's like, you know where I'd want to actually be, like when you didn't take me away from my life.
Right, like if it seemed like in that moment he had that realization.
It was like kind of that weird line. He's like, I wish I had my jet ski.
He was like, what if I had a jet ski? It's like, I don't know, that's the first thing that came to his mind, but like that moment was really good. Like it was like that realization, and then he was like, you know where if I could go anywhere anytime, like I would go to like my life before the TVA.
Yeah, there's a lot of good lines, like him like figuring it out, and like all these lines about him like just not listening to Loki, just people actually knowing him, and seeing Loki in constant different situations where you can't just be like tricking people. And then and I'm kind of interested in like where he's at, like what world is he at?
Yeah, I don't know what.
Because you can see the Avengers Tower in the background, and it's weird.
Really?
It's like destroyed, so it's like I don't know if it's like an alternate Avengers or something.
I think episode 5 is gonna be a lot of hype when we see that next week.
Yeah, Tommy's there.
Also, Tom Hiddleston did a great job reacting like the Mobius getting pruned. Like Loki, like it was like it clearly like got him on a visceral level, and like that
and
is
like when Owen Wilson, when Mobius tried to trick him into thinking, Sylvie was dead, you could like see on his face that like he was like emotionally distraught, but like, he was hiding it.
Right.
Which was like really good.
It's just been fantastic. The acting has been superb. Just this entire series has been superb.
And like the sets look great. Every single.
It looks fantastic. The shots have been really
good. They've actually
good.
been shooting a lot of it on the new filming method they're doing with these Disney Plus shows. I don't know if you heard of it. It's like stagecraft or something. They did it with The Mandalorian, where they literally just have like a set that's like a green screen, but instead of a green screen, they just put like the actual like background on there, so they can just kind of act with that background.
Oh yeah, there you go.
So like the bigger movies like this with a lot of visual effects can just do that. And just build sets in there.
That's pretty awesome.
And then people can't get photos because it's in a building.
Right.
So it's a lot of what these Disney Plus shows are doing now.
I think that is really awesome.
I know for sure the new Thor is doing that. So, which just finished filming, I think, as well.
It finished filming?
Yeah.
All right. I'm excited for Love and Thunder. I think it'll be really cool. If it like.
So True Love.
If it expands upon Ragnarok, it's definitely gonna be very exciting.
It's like a sequel to it.
No, really.
There's some really good theories. It's not really good for that.
But yeah, Loki's been incredible. We'll definitely be sure to talk about more of it because episodes 5 and 6 are probably gonna be really wild. So.
Also, there's a lot of interesting stuff with this variant stuff, like that scene, like where they like describe their past and how different it is. It's very interesting.
Right. I think that was very cool too. There's just so much so many cool concepts that can come out of this.
And I see where it's coming from because I believe one of the main writers is not only writing the script for Doctor Strange 2, and some other projects, because the guy that wrote this, like, is the showrunner for this, is like heavily involved in Doctor Strange 2, and working with Sam Raimi on it.
Right,
and
I did hear about that.
He also is like I think a writer for Rick and Morty, so.
Yeah.
That explains a lot of the sci-fi concepts that like are really weird and out there.
Right, but like actually working as well.
So, and like if there's definitely season 2, I'm down for it.
Oh yeah, for sure. I would be very excited for it. So
yeah,
it's been incredible. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, any other thoughts on Loki? Episodes like 3, 4, the series so far.
A lot of green.
Well, it is Loki, so...
Slightly.
Alright, what do you want to talk about next?
You want to talk about the trailer?
Yeah, let's do it.
That you hate?
Let me just say, I'm a huge Halloween fan.
No.
The original film is one of my absolute all-time... It's in, like, my 4, like main films ever. At least horror films.
Yeah, what were your, thoughts on, 2018 in general?
I think that Halloween 2018 was just it's everything that I've been waiting for. Not necessarily it wasn't exceptional, but it was really good. And it's with the entire Halloween franchise, with all the sequels that I hated and all of the remakes and the different timelines and all of it that I just thought was awful and all the resetting. It was such a breath of relief to get 2018 with John Carpenter's involvement again. And
it's really surprised that the movie was even made.
Right.
Especially the people behind it, and we can go more in detail about our thoughts on it later because this is more about the new one.
Right.
But and it's weird to think that movie actually had a lot of not a lot of problems, but had a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, and it really turned out as well as it did.
Right.
There was a completely different ending, a completely different third act.
Yeah.
That they cut and reshoot because They never like showed it, but like it's like known what's happened in it. But your mom. But and then like when they announced that like this was gonna continue for 2 more movies,
Right,
and
this was gonna be its own trilogy.
And the biggest sigh of relief for me was that the fact that the same directors coming back, the same writers,
right?
Some new writers, but like a lot of the core creative team is coming back. It's much better than like with other attempts like Halloween 4 and H2O. Like their sequels just completely like went back on those movies.
Right, they would just
just
became their own thing.
Fucked everything up.
It's just whatever.
And this one's very much a continuation.
Right, like
and it literally picks up on the same night.
What was so great about 2018 was that like it did a good job being its own thing, but it actually finally was a proper continuation of the original 1978 film. Just absolutely fantastic in my opinion. And then just last week the trailer for Halloween Kills dropped,
which was not supposed to happen.
No,
it was supposed to come out with the Forever Purge.
Right.
But apparently got leaked, so they just released it early.
Yeah, which I'm thankful for because I
wasn't going to see the Forever Purge, so
yeah,
I wasn't planning on it.
So I adore this trailer, and it got me so excited.
It got me so excited.
I haven't been this excited for a film since Endgame, probably. I am through the roof excited. So much anticipation. I can't even express it.
I don't know, F9 came out.
Not properly. But the trailer looks fantastic. It looks like it's going to be a great continuation from 2018. And it's really going to work on a lot of the character building, a lot of world building. And not only that, but it looks like it's going to be gruesome and brutal, so it can like appeal to all types of slasher fans. Be like ultimate.
The trailer definitely like maybe showed a little too much, but from what's been told, it's like barely scratching the surface.
Apparently, the trailer's the tip of the iceberg, which like there was some brutal stuff in there. So
yeah,
if that's the tip of the iceberg, then this is going to be one brutal film. And
like when you have like John Carpenter himself saying this is like the quintessential slasher movie, like
right, the John Carpenter.
I'm interested.
Every bit of info that I've heard since the trailer has just gotten me even more and more excited. Michael Myers is the GOAT of horror villains.
And from
sure.
because I did do a test screening like before COVID happened, to see if they didn't do research or anything, and apparently it was like overwhelmingly positive.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
So, yeah, unlike 2018, which was like a little bit more mixed, but I still loved it. So,
right,
yeah. I don't really see how this movie's gonna fail.
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten myself so hyped up, so if it isn't that good, like, it'd be really upsetting, but, like, I just don't see how this one could disappoint. Like, it has just been...
And, there's a lot of worries I had when they first announced it, because, they just kept announcing, like, original characters coming back, and it's just, like, I don't know if it just be more references, but so far it seems like it's going to be very well done.
Right.
While still keeping a focus on, like, the main characters from the last one. And being its own thing, and not constantly just feeling like, oh, this, oh, that.
It looks like it's gonna flow really well, and it gets really exciting. I mean, Michael's portrayal in this film looks already
the actor they have
so intimidating
in the last one. He was in the last one as well. It was just he's great.
Yes, he did an incredible job.
He's definitely just like the second best.
Right.
Michael Myers actor. Maybe he'll be the best after like this trilogy's done.
Right. Like if he can like be that great for all these films, he'd probably be the best one in my opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, even with like even finally going back to Michael Myers, the motive.
Yeah, I was gonna say like what they've done with going back to his motive, like in the last one where they literally just directly say there's no sister plot, he's just murdering to murder. There's no motive really.
Right.
He's just a man, which annoys the shit out of me because when they did that, people were like, oh my god, the supernatural stuff's gone, and now like in this one they kind of established it again, like oh my god, I thought this was supposed to be a normal man. And it's just like, what do you want?
Right. It's like they were saying like.
And now this one's more like aligning it with like he is supernatural, but it's not like a motive that's like really human.
Right. Like they were saying Michael Myers is flesh and blood, but a man wouldn't survive the fire, and like he comes out of it. And then it's like
the way that they do that also was very well done.
Yes.
I didn't think it would go that way.
Right.
But like it works perfectly.
And then the incredible line from Jamie Lee Laurie, the more he kills, the more he transcends.
Which it's not really like a literal thing. I don't think that at the end of like ends he's gonna like transform into like some weird creature.
No, yeah.
I think it's just being like literally he's transcending to like.
It's just playing a lot on the psychological, which is incredible. Which is what the original Halloween was always supposed to be.
I think it's more meaning he just becomes more like unkillable.
Right.
Which is confronting the plot point where people are like, oh my god, he's 60, he should just die. He's not normal.
Right, he's not just a normal man. He's, like, not at all. And, like, it makes him one of the most endearing forces in the history of horror films ever since the original. It's just so fantastic. My all-time favorite.
Yeah, but
with the exception of maybe Jack Torrance. So
yeah, and they also have always established that, like, even though he's like this, he can still take damage, unlike in some of the other films. Like, they have that great detail, like, he has a scar over his eye because he got stabbed with that coat hanger, which is just, like, that's a great detail.
yes,
You know, he's burnt from the fire. You know, he got his finger shot off. You know, it's just, like, he's obviously, like, still taking damage, but it's just, it doesn't stop.
right. It, like, applies, like, it's the same thing, and it all is going to pile up. And I'm just so excited to see where Michael's arc goes, and then especially with Laurie Strode's, because I think we were talking about it. I really think her arc should continue with Michael's and end with his.
Yeah, I know there's, like, some plot leaks, and I haven't read too much into it, but from what I've heard, Laurie's definitely going to be in all three.
Right.
It's like
At
her
least
trilogy.
at least in some way, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think she should really die in this one, because people even wanted her to die in 2018. And
Right,
apparently that
people-
might have, almost happened,
Yeah.
but they decided against it, because, you know, it kind of felt like, dumb.
Right.
to have
I mean,
this-
people really want her to.
And then
like,
this
I
whole
just-
movie, it's like, you know, she's going to be recovering, so why kill her in the same movie where the whole movie's her in the hospital?
Yeah, I just don't think it would really fulfill her arc properly.
In
at
ends,
all.
I can see it, and I think it probably should.
Right.
Yeah. Because I feel like this trilogy is going to end with, like, you know, maybe Michael dies, but, like, you know, there's always going to be something evil, so...
Right. And, like, they're saying, like, he is, like, the pure essence of evil, which
Yeah.
just adds on more to that, like, him and, like, as a character, which is just incredible.
Yeah.
Just the entire trailer all the way through, it made it look like a gruesome film, a great continuation,
Really great
a
Halloween
strong
3
story.
references as well.
Yeah, references to Halloween 3, which is, like, I love Halloween 3, honestly, I really do. I don't think it's a good movie, but, like,
It's really fun.
it always gets hated on for just being in the middle of the franchise and, like, not applying to the rest of the story.
Yeah.
But Season of the Witch is just fantastic. And those three masks, I know they've become iconic in their own right. And then, like, that, like, reference, like, at that park, it's so super cool to me.
I don't know if you noticed, like, I found about this later, but you know, like, that, like, black lady that gets murdered by, like, the strobe light?
Yeah.
Like, the fluorescent light? She was in 2018. She
Oh,
was, that woman in the graveyard. That, like, led him around. I was like, oh my god, I didn't notice that, but that's, like, really good detail.
That is an awesome detail. Yeah.
And apparently the two with the silver shamrock that were, like, on, like, the wheel thing,
Yeah.
they were actually in 2018 as well, and that, like, tracking shot.
Oh.
And those apparently might be the little boy's parents from 2018.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's, like, also really great detail.
That's all incredible, like, attention to detail and callback. And,
It's also
like,
weird because if he has those masks, he might have killed the kids that had them.
That is... I mean, there's a lot... I mean...
That definitely won't be
that's
revealed, but,
great.
like...
Right.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, this trailer had a lot in it that was just fantastic. I mean, it made me so happy. It put a huge smile on my face when I found out about it, so...
Yeah. And now I'm excited for it to come out. And then hopefully they start filming on soon, so...
Right. And I'm super excited to see this one and to see how Ends concludes it.
If this is, like, better than 2018, I don't know how they're going to top it with Ends.
Yes, I know. If this film is as good as it's looking to be, I don't know how Ends will be a follow-up, like how it's going to be able to do
They'll
that.
probably don't be good. I don't know if they'll top it.
Right.
And apparently we're all, like, I think it's confirmed we're getting a 1978 flashback
Right.
with Lonnie.
Yeah.
So that will also be cool to see. Because, like, they were going to do that in 2018.
Yeah.
They had one dumb idea, but we can talk about it later. They had a dumb idea to, like, actually change the ending of the first one.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And, like, John Carter said no.
Yeah.
And then, but I guess in this one, they're just going to kind of, like, add on to it instead of changing stuff, which is what they should do, if anything. I don't want them to touch it, 1978, as much as they can. He's sleeping.
Yeah.
Don't I got you? You take your shirt off and we stay a while.
But
Not
yeah,
doing anything.
I'm super excited for this film, and yeah, the trailer was amazing. If I gave trailers ratings, I would, but
This
I'd
was,
give
like,
it a
really
10 out of 10.
great trailer.
But like, I don't really do that, so.
What do you want, Tommy? I'm just kidding.
But yeah, that's all I've got to say about the Halloween Kills trailer. So.
Oh, wow. We were watching it.
All right, and then
I don't know. It is 1:30 in the morning. So maybe we could save Rick and Morty next week.
Timmy's opinion, Jason's better.
So we're going to edit that out.
Rip off Michael Myers. He is. It's confirmed.
At least with the invention.
But yeah, that'll probably do it for this episode. It is 1:30 in the morning. I'm exhausted. But we definitely wanted to get this recording out, talk about F9 because we saw it last week, and But
Well,
yeah.
we'll definitely next week probably be talking about Rick and Morty.
Yeah, next week we'll probably talk about Loki a little more, episode
Right.
5, and then we'll also be covering Rick and Morty and
Probably maybe
season
even
5 so far.
if it's still relevant, A Quiet Place.
Right, yeah, we might also talk about A Quiet Place because we'll finally have both seen it, so a part 2, of course. But yeah, that's probably the plan.
This is just, I'm so excited for this movie.
I know, I just we had to talk about the trailer because I'm so excited. I cannot wait. We're probably gonna do like a huge we should do like a huge episode around when Halloween Kills comes out, like a huge one. Just talking about like all of it, because we can get a real deep dive on that. But
Absolutely not. I'm just kidding, of course.
But yeah. But anyway, that'll probably do it for this week's episode.
Didn't we get to that cash ever? Just kidding.
If you enjoyed, be sure to subscribe, hit that bell so you get notified. Leave a like and comment your thoughts. Leave a like and comment your thoughts on F9, Loki, Halloween Kills trailer, whatever you want. You call us terrible. Say whatever you want.
Wait, what?
What?
What did you say again?
Anyway, yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. Matthew, closing thoughts?
Your mom's gay.
Hope you guys have a great night. It is 1:30 in the morning. I'm gonna sleep, and we'll see you guys next week. Also, 10 subs, over 10 subs. Let's go.
Yeah, 10 sub special. Let's go.
Well, there's different time zone.
All right, we'll see you guys next
Might
week.
have fans from like other countries.
See you guys next week.
Yeah, you guys have a good one.
That's pretty gay.
Okay, let's not.